Chapter 1: The Legend of Bigfoot. Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is one of the most enduring and fascinating legends of North America. This chapter delves into the rich tapestry of stories, sightings, and evidence surrounding this mysterious creature. We explore the historical background and origins of the Bigfoot legend, delve into compelling eyewitness accounts, examine physical evidence, and assess the cultural impact of Bigfoot. Finally, we look at scientific investigations aimed at validating or debunking the existence of this elusive beast. The legend of Bigfoot has its roots deep in the history and folklore of Native American tribes, who have passed down stories of a large, hairy, ape-like creature that roams the forests and mountains of North America. Known by various names such as Sasquatch among the Coast Salish people, Bigfoot has been described as a towering figure, covered in hair, with immense strength and an elusive nature. The modern era of Bigfoot sightings began in the late 1950s, when a construction worker named Jerry Crew discovered large footprints in Bluff Creek, California. The footprints measured an astonishing 16 inches in length, leading to the coining of the term Bigfoot by local newspapers. This discovery sparked widespread interest and curiosity, propelling Bigfoot into the public consciousness. The legend of Bigfoot is not confined to North America. Similar creatures have been reported in various cultures around the world, such as the Yeti in the Himalayas, the Yowie in Australia, and the Almasty in Russia. These global parallels suggest a shared human fascination with mysterious humanoid creatures that inhabit the fringes of our known world. Eyewitness accounts form the backbone of the Bigfoot legend, providing compelling, often chilling stories of encounters with the creature. These testimonies come from a diverse range of people, including hunters, hikers, and even police officers, each recounting their experiences with remarkable consistency in their descriptions. One of the most famous encounters occurred in 1967, when Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin captured what they claimed to be footage of Bigfoot in Bluff Creek, California. The shaky, grainy film shows a large, hairy creature walking through the forest, turning briefly to look at the camera before disappearing into the trees. This footage, known as the Patterson-Gimlin film, remains one of the most scrutinized pieces of evidence in the Bigfoot phenomenon. In 2000, an experienced tracker named Paul Freeman claimed to have seen Bigfoot in the Blue Mountains of Washington. Freeman's detailed account described a creature standing over 8 feet tall, covered in dark hair and possessing a distinctly human-like face. His encounter was further supported by the discovery of fresh footprints and hair samples, adding to the growing body of evidence. Another compelling testimony comes from a police officer named Ray Akins, who reported a close encounter while patrolling a remote area in Texas. According to Akins, he saw a massive, hairy figure cross the road in front of his vehicle. The creature reportedly paused to look directly at him, before vanishing into the dense forest. Akins, a trained observer, was adamant about what he had seen, further lending credibility to the sighting. Physical evidence, such as footprints, hair samples, and unexplained noises, has also played a crucial role in the Bigfoot legend. The large footprints discovered by Jerry Crew in Bluff Creek are among the earliest pieces of physical evidence. These footprints, with their distinct shape and size, have been found in various locations across North America, often in remote forested areas. Hair samples attributed to Bigfoot have also been analyzed over the years. In many cases, these samples have been found to contain unusual characteristics that do not match any known animal species. While the results are often inconclusive, they add an intriguing layer to the mystery. Unexplained noises, such as eerie howls, guttural growls, and wood-knocking sounds, have been reported by many who claim to have encountered Bigfoot. These sounds are often heard in remote, heavily forested areas and have been recorded by researchers. Some of these recordings have been analyzed and compared to known animal sounds, yet they often remain unidentified. The cultural impact of Bigfoot is profound, influencing media, folklore, and local economies. The creature has become a staple of popular culture, appearing in movies, television shows, books, and even commercials. The fascination with Bigfoot has spawned a dedicated community of enthusiasts and researchers who continue to search for evidence and share their findings. In regions where sightings are frequent, Bigfoot has become an integral part of local folklore and identity. Towns like Willow Creek, California, and Fouke, Arkansas, have embraced their connection to Bigfoot, hosting festivals, creating museums, and even offering guided tours to attract tourists. This blend of myth and reality has not only kept the legend alive, but has also provided economic benefits to these communities. The scientific community has made numerous efforts to validate or debunk the existence of Bigfoot. Some researchers have dedicated their careers to studying the phenomenon, employing various methods to gather evidence. Field investigations often involve setting up cameras, collecting samples, and documenting eyewitness testimonies. These efforts have yielded intriguing results, but a definitive proof of Bigfoot's existence remains elusive. Dr. Grover Krantz, an anthropologist, was one of the first scientists to publicly support the possibility of Bigfoot's existence. He analyzed footprint casts and concluded that their anatomical features were consistent with a living bipedal creature. Krantz's work inspired other researchers to take the subject seriously and continue the investigation with scientific rigor. In recent years, advancements in technology have provided new tools for Bigfoot researchers. Drone technology, for instance, allows for extensive aerial surveys of remote areas, potentially capturing footage of elusive creatures. DNA analysis of hair and tissue samples has also become more sophisticated, offering the possibility of identifying unknown species. Despite these advancements, the scientific community remains divided on the existence of Bigfoot. Skeptics argue that the lack of concrete evidence, such as a body or definitive DNA results, undermines the credibility of the legend. They suggest that many sightings can be attributed to misidentifications, hoaxes, or the psychological phenomenon of pareidolia, where the human brain perceives familiar patterns, like faces or figures, in random stimuli. However, proponents of Bigfoot's existence counter that the vast, unexplored wilderness areas of North America could easily conceal such a creature. They argue that other species, including large mammals, have been discovered in recent history, despite initial skepticism. For them, the consistent eyewitness accounts, physical evidence, and cultural impact provide a compelling case that Bigfoot is more than just a myth. The enduring legend of Bigfoot continues to captivate and intrigue. Whether viewed as a real creature lurking in the depths of North America's forests or as a symbol of the unknown, Bigfoot represents a mystery that challenges our understanding of the natural world. This chapter has explored the historical background, compelling eyewitness testimonies, physical evidence, cultural impact, and scientific investigations surrounding Bigfoot, painting a picture of a legend that refuses to fade into obscurity. In the end, the legend of Bigfoot is as much about our fascination with the unknown as it is about the creature itself. It speaks to a deep-seated human desire to explore, discover, and believe in the possibility of hidden wonders in our world. Whether Bigfoot is ultimately proven to exist or not, its legend will undoubtedly continue to inspire curiosity, debate, and wonder for generations to come. Chapter 2: The Chupacabra. The chupacabra, often referred to as the goat sucker, is one of the most spine-chilling and enigmatic creatures in the world of cryptids. Known for its terrifying attacks on livestock and its mysterious origins, the chupacabra has become a staple of modern folklore across Latin America and the southern United States. This chapter delves into the origins of the chupacabra legend, explores eyewitness accounts, examines physical evidence, discusses various theories and explanations, and considers the cultural significance of this fearsome creature. Origins of the chupacabra: how the legend began and spread. The legend of the chupacabra originated in Puerto Rico in the mid-1990s. The first reported sightings and attacks occurred in 1995, when livestock across the island were found dead with peculiar puncture wounds on their necks and completely drained of blood. These gruesome discoveries sparked panic among farmers and residents, who began to whisper about a mysterious predator. The creature was soon dubbed El Chupacabra, meaning goat sucker in Spanish, due to its habit of targeting goats and other small livestock. The initial description of the chupacabra was bizarre and otherworldly. Witnesses described a reptilian creature, approximately 3 to 4 feet tall, with large glowing red eyes, sharp fangs, and a row of spines running down its back. This description, coupled with the creature's blood-sucking behavior, led some to speculate that the chupacabra was of extraterrestrial origin, possibly a product of alien experimentation or a creature from another world. As news of the chupacabra spread, reports of similar attacks and sightings began to emerge from other countries, including Mexico, Chile, and the southern United States. Each new sighting added to the legend, with slight variations in the creature's appearance and behavior, but all maintaining the core elements of a blood-sucking predator that terrorized rural communities. The rapid spread of the chupacabra legend can be attributed to several factors. The rise of the Internet in the 1990s allowed for swift dissemination of stories and reports, creating a global awareness of the creature. Additionally, the chupacabra's terrifying nature and the mystery surrounding its existence captured the public's imagination, making it a compelling subject for media coverage and folklore. Eyewitness accounts: frightening encounters with the blood-sucking beast. Eyewitness accounts of chupacabra encounters are both numerous and chilling. These testimonies, often coming from farmers, ranchers, and rural residents, provide a vivid picture of the fear and confusion that follows in the wake of a chupacabra attack. One of the earliest and most famous eyewitness accounts came from Madeline Tolentino, a Puerto Rican woman who claimed to have seen the creature near her home in 1995. According to Tolentino, the chupacabra had large, alien-like eyes, long limbs, and a row of spines along its back. Her detailed description helped shape the popular image of the chupacabra and lent credibility to the growing number of reports. In Mexico, a rancher named Carlos Soto reported a harrowing encounter in 1996. Soto claimed that he awoke to the sounds of his livestock in distress and ran outside to find a strange creature attacking his goats. He described the chupacabra as having leathery, greenish skin and standing on two legs like a kangaroo. Despite firing several shots at the creature, it escaped into the night, leaving behind a scene of carnage and fear. In Texas, the chupacabra has become a part of local folklore, with numerous reported sightings and encounters. One particularly notable account came from Phyllis Canyon, a rancher in Cuero, Texas. In 2007, Canyon found several of her chickens dead, their bodies mysteriously drained of blood. She later discovered a strange, hairless carcass on her property, which she believed to be the remains of a chupacabra. The creature had blue-gray skin, large fangs, and an eerily canine appearance. These eyewitness accounts, while varied in some details, consistently describe a creature that defies easy explanation. The recurring theme of livestock being drained of blood, along with the fear and confusion experienced by those who encounter the chupacabra, adds to the creature's menacing reputation. Physical evidence: examining the remains and mysterious injuries of livestock. Physical evidence of the chupacabra primarily comes in the form of livestock carcasses with distinctive injuries. The most common hallmark of a chupacabra attack is the presence of 2 or 3 puncture wounds, usually on the neck, and the near-total exsanguination of the animal. These injuries are peculiar because they do not match the typical predation patterns of known predators, which usually involve tearing flesh and consuming parts of the prey. Veterinarians and forensic experts who have examined the remains of animals purportedly killed by the chupacabra have noted the precision of the puncture wounds and the lack of significant blood at the scene. This suggests a method of blood extraction that is both efficient and unusual. While some experts have suggested that the wounds could be caused by other animals, such as dogs or coyotes, the distinct lack of blood remains an unresolved mystery. In addition to livestock carcasses, some researchers have found unusual hair samples and tracks at the sites of alleged chupacabra attacks. These samples have undergone various analyses with mixed results. In some cases, the hair has been identified as belonging to known animals, such as dogs or raccoons, but in other instances, the samples have yielded inconclusive results, leaving the door open for further speculation. Another piece of physical evidence often cited in chupacabra investigations is the occasional discovery of strange carcasses, like the one found by Phyllis Canyon in Texas. These carcasses are typically hairless with tough blue-gray skin and pronounced fangs. While some scientists have identified these remains as belonging to animals suffering from severe mange or other diseases, others argue that the features and circumstances of these carcasses are too unusual to be easily explained away. Theories and explanations, from alien origins to misidentified animals. Theories about the origins and nature of the chupacabra are as varied and intriguing as the sightings themselves. One of the most popular and persistent theories is that the chupacabra is an extraterrestrial creature. Proponents of this theory point to the strange, almost alien-like appearance of the creature, its unusual behavior, and the lack of clear evidence tying it to known animals. Some believe that the chupacabra could be a result of alien experimentation, or even a creature accidentally left behind by extraterrestrial visitors. Another theory suggests that the chupacabra is a product of government or scientific experiments gone awry. This theory gained traction in Puerto Rico, where some locals speculated that the creature escaped from a secretive research facility. According to this view, the chupacabra might be a genetically engineered organism designed for unknown purposes. Skeptics often propose more mundane explanations, arguing that many chupacabra sightings can be attributed to misidentified animals, such as dogs, coyotes, or even raccoons suffering from severe mange. Mange, a skin disease caused by parasitic mites, can cause animals to lose their fur and develop a scaly, emaciated appearance that might be mistaken for something more sinister. Additionally, the behavior of these diseased animals can be erratic and aggressive, which could explain some of the reported attacks. Another explanation is that the chupacabra is a modern incarnation of older vampire legends. Throughout history, many cultures have tales of blood-sucking creatures, from the vampire bats of South America to the strigoi of Eastern Europe. The chupacabra legend could be seen as a contemporary manifestation of these age-old fears, adapted to fit the cultural and environmental context of Latin America and the southern United States. Despite these varying theories, no single explanation has been universally accepted, and the mystery of the chupacabra endures. The creature's elusive nature, combined with the sporadic yet consistent reports of sightings and attacks, keeps the legend alive and well. Cultural significance: the chupacabra's place in local lore and modern media. The chupacabra has become an integral part of the folklore and cultural identity of many communities in Latin America and the southern United States. In Puerto Rico, where the legend began, the chupacabra is a household name, often invoked in cautionary tales and local legends. The creature has also made its way into popular culture, appearing in films, television shows, and literature. One of the most notable aspects of the chupacabra legend is its ability to capture the imagination and inspire fear. The creature represents the unknown and the inexplicable, embodying the primal fear of predators that lurk in the dark. This fear is amplified by the chupacabra's association with blood and death, making it a potent symbol of terror. In Mexico and other parts of Latin America, the chupacabra is often featured in local festivals, artwork, and media. The creature has become a subject of fascination and speculation, with many people sharing stories of encounters and sightings. This cultural integration has helped keep the legend of the chupacabra alive, even as scientific and skeptical explanations emerge. In the United States, particularly in states like Texas and New Mexico, the chupacabra has found a place in local lore. Communities that have experienced livestock attacks often incorporate the chupacabra into their regional identity, using the legend to attract tourists and generate interest in local history and culture. Festivals celebrating the chupacabra, complete with costumes, music, and storytelling, draw visitors and create a sense of shared heritage. The chupacabra has also made a significant impact on modern media. The creature has been featured in numerous television shows, such as The X-Files and Monster Quest, as well as in movies, comic books, and video games. This widespread media presence has cemented the chupacabra's status as a cultural icon and ensured that the legend continues to reach new audiences. Chapter 3: Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Monster, affectionately known as Nessie, is one of the most enduring and intriguing cryptids in the world. Said to inhabit the deep dark waters of Scotland's Loch Ness, Nessie has captured the imagination of millions. This chapter explores the rich history of sightings, modern encounters, scientific investigations, the ongoing debate between skeptics and believers, and the significant impact of the legend on local tourism and culture. Historical sightings, early accounts and descriptions of the creature. The legend of the Loch Ness Monster is rooted in centuries of folklore and anecdotal evidence. The earliest known reference to a mysterious creature in Loch Ness dates back to 565 AD, in the biography of Saint Columba by Adamnan. According to the text, Saint Columba encountered a beast in the River Ness that had attacked and killed a local man. The saint reportedly confronted the creature, invoking the name of God and commanding it to retreat, which it did, leaving the onlookers in awe. This account, while steeped in religious and mythological elements, is often cited as the first recorded sighting of the Loch Ness Monster. Throughout the centuries, tales of a large serpentine creature in the loch persisted, often passed down through oral traditions. In the 19th century, several reported sightings brought the legend into the public eye. In 1871, D. Mackenzie claimed to have seen an object resembling a log or upturned boat, wriggling and churning up the water. This sighting, along with others from the same period, described a creature that was large, dark, and moved with a serpentine motion, contributing to the image of Nessie that persists today. Modern encounters, recent sightings, and photographic evidence. The modern era of Nessie sightings began in the 20th century, fueled by the advent of photography and increasing public interest in unexplained phenomena. One of the most famous sightings occurred in 1933, when George Spicer and his wife reported seeing a large creature crossing the road in front of their car near Loch Ness. They described it as having a large body and long, wavy neck, similar to a plesiosaur, a marine reptile from the Mesozoic era. This sighting was followed by the infamous surgeon's photograph, taken by Dr. Robert Kenneth Wilson in 1934. The photograph, showing a long neck and small head emerging from the water, became iconic and is perhaps the most well-known image associated with the Loch Ness Monster. Although the photograph was later revealed to be a hoax, it played a significant role in cementing the image of Nessie in popular culture. In recent years, sightings have continued, bolstered by advancements in technology. In 2011, sonar equipment used by a boat tour operator detected a large, unidentified object deep in the loch. The object appeared to be about 5 feet wide and moved at a depth of nearly 75 feet. In 2014, satellite imagery from Apple Maps showed a shadowy figure in the water that many believed to be Nessie. These modern encounters, while not providing definitive proof, keep the legend alive and continue to intrigue both locals and tourists alike. Scientific expeditions, investigations, and sonar scans of Loch Ness. The mystery of the Loch Ness Monster has inspired numerous scientific investigations and expeditions aimed at uncovering the truth. One of the earliest scientific efforts was led by Sir Edward Mountain in 1934, who financed a team of 20 men, equipped with binoculars and cameras, to watch the loch for 5 weeks. Although they reported several sightings, none resulted in conclusive evidence. In the 1960s and 1970s, a series of more sophisticated investigations were conducted. The Loch Ness Phenomena Investigation Bureau, LNPIB, used sonar technology to scan the depths of the loch. One of the most notable results came from the 1972 expedition, where sonar readings detected large moving objects at significant depths. These contacts provided some of the most compelling evidence yet, suggesting the presence of something unusual in the loch. The advent of more advanced sonar and underwater photography technology led to further expeditions in the following decades. In 1987, Operation DeepScan involved a fleet of boats equipped with sonar sweeping the entire length of Loch Ness. The operation detected several large, moving objects, though they could not be definitively identified as living creatures. These findings, while inconclusive, added to the body of evidence suggesting that something unexplained inhabits the loch. More recent scientific efforts have focused on DNA analysis of the water. In 2018, a team led by Professor Neil Gemmell from the University of Otago conducted a comprehensive survey of Loch Ness's biodiversity using environmental DNA (EDNA) sampling. The study aimed to catalog all living organisms in the loch by identifying genetic material present in water samples. The results did not support the existence of a large, unknown creature, but did reveal a significant amount of eel DNA, leading to speculation that large eels might account for some of the sightings. Skeptics versus believers, debates over the existence of Nessie. The existence of the Loch Ness Monster remains a subject of passionate debate between skeptics and believers. Skeptics argue that many of the sightings can be explained by misidentifications of common animals, such as seals or large fish, or by inanimate objects like logs and waves. The natural properties of the loch, with its cold, murky waters and frequent surface disturbances, also contribute to the likelihood of optical illusions and mistaken observations. The scientific community generally remains skeptical, citing the lack of concrete evidence, such as a body or definitive sonar or photographic proof, as grounds for doubt. The hoaxes, most notably the surgeon's photograph, have further fueled skepticism, leading many to view the Loch Ness Monster as a myth rather than a reality. Believers, on the other hand, argue that the sheer number of sightings and the consistency of descriptions over time suggest there is something unusual in Loch Ness. They point to the unexplained sonar contacts and the occasional unexplained photographs as evidence that supports the possibility of a large, unknown creature. For many, the legend of Nessie is bolstered by the notion that the loch, with its vast depths and complex underwater geography, could easily conceal such a creature. The debate is often framed by a broader discussion about the nature of evidence and belief. For skeptics, the scientific method and empirical evidence are paramount. For believers, the cumulative weight of anecdotal evidence and the mystery of the unknown hold significant sway. This ongoing debate ensures that the legend of the Loch Ness Monster remains a lively and contentious topic. Impact on tourism: how the legend has shaped the local economy and culture. The legend of the Loch Ness Monster has had a profound impact on the local economy and culture of the Loch Ness region. Tourism driven by the legend has become a major industry, drawing hundreds of thousands of visitors each year from around the world. Local businesses have capitalized on the legend, offering a range of Nessie-themed attractions and merchandise. The Loch Ness Centre and Exhibition in Drumnadrochit provides an in-depth look at the history and science behind the legend, featuring exhibits, films, and interactive displays. Boat tours of Loch Ness, often equipped with sonar equipment, offer visitors the chance to hunt for Nessie themselves, adding a sense of adventure and excitement to their visit. Hotels, restaurants, and shops in the area also benefit from the influx of tourists, many of whom come specifically to catch a glimpse of the elusive monster. Nessie-themed souvenirs, ranging from plush toys and t-shirts to more elaborate memorabilia, are popular items among visitors, further boosting the local economy. The cultural impact of the legend is equally significant. Nessie has become a symbol of Scottish folklore and identity, embodying the mysterious and wild nature of the Highlands. The creature is featured prominently in local art, literature, and music, reinforcing its status as an iconic figure in Scottish culture. The legend of the Loch Ness Monster also fosters a sense of community and shared heritage among locals. Many residents take pride in the global fascination with Nessie, viewing the monster as a unique and cherished aspect of their regional identity. Festivals and events celebrating the legend are common, providing opportunities for locals and visitors alike to engage with the folklore and enjoy the festive atmosphere. Chapter 4: Mothman. The Mothman, a winged creature with glowing red eyes, has become an enduring figure in the folklore of West Virginia. First reported in the 1960s, the sightings of this eerie phenomenon have inspired fear, speculation, and a lasting cultural legacy. This chapter investigates the initial reports of the Mothman in Point Pleasant, examines detailed eyewitness accounts, explores the connections between the Mothman sightings and the tragic Silver Bridge collapse, delves into various theories and speculations about its existence, and looks at the creature's influence on local traditions and media. The Point Pleasant sightings, the initial reports and subsequent hysteria. The legend of the Mothman began on November 12, 1966, near Clendenin, West Virginia, when 5 men were digging a grave in a cemetery. They claimed to have seen a man-like figure with wings fly low over their heads. Just 3 days later, 2 young couples from Point Pleasant, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette, reported a terrifying encounter with a large winged creature with glowing red eyes while driving near an old World War II munitions site known as the TNT area. The Scarberrys and Millettes described the creature as being about 6 or 7 feet tall, with a wingspan of 10 feet and large red eyes that glowed in the car's headlights. They reported that it followed their car at high speeds, seemingly unhindered by the dense forest or the vehicle's acceleration. The couples drove straight to the Mason County Courthouse and reported their encounter to the sheriff, leading to a media frenzy. Over the next year, more than 100 similar reports came from residents of Point Pleasant and the surrounding areas. Witnesses described a creature matching the Scarberrys and Millette's description, a large humanoid figure with wings and glowing red eyes. The media dubbed the creature Mothman, and a wave of hysteria swept through the small town. The TNT area became a focal point for sightings and investigations, with many curious onlookers and reporters flocking to the site in hopes of glimpsing the mysterious being. Eyewitness accounts, detailed descriptions and experiences of those who encountered the Mothman. The eyewitness accounts of the Mothman are striking in their consistency and detail. Many witnesses reported feeling an overwhelming sense of fear and dread when encountering the creature, as if it radiated a malevolent presence. Linda Scarberry's account is one of the most detailed, describing the Mothman's glowing red eyes and its ability to fly at incredible speeds, seemingly able to keep pace with their car, even at 100 miles per hour. Another compelling account came from Marcella Bennett, who, along with her daughter and brother, encountered the Mothman near the TNT area. Bennett described the creature as having a muscular build, with feather-like skin and red hypnotic eyes. She claimed that the creature followed them back to their car and even attempted to climb onto it before retreating into the darkness. The encounter left Bennett in a state of shock and fear, causing her to seek medical attention for anxiety and sleeplessness. One of the more chilling reports involved a group of 4 construction workers who claimed to have seen the Mothman standing on top of a building in the TNT area. They described it as having large bat-like wings and glowing red eyes. When they shined their flashlights on the creature, it emitted a high-pitched screech and flew away at high speed, leaving the men in a state of terror. These eyewitness accounts, while varying in some details, all emphasize the creature's size, speed, and otherworldly presence. The consistency of these reports, coupled with the sheer number of sightings, lends credibility to the phenomenon and fuels the ongoing mystery. The Silver Bridge collapse, connections between the Mothman sightings and the tragic event. On December 15, 1967, tragedy struck Point Pleasant when the Silver Bridge, which connected the town to Gallipolis, Ohio, collapsed during rush hour traffic. The disaster resulted in the deaths of 46 people, making it one of the deadliest bridge collapses in American history. In the aftermath of the tragedy, some began to draw connections between the Mothman sightings and the collapse of the bridge. In the year leading up to the collapse, many residents reported seeing the Mothman near the Silver Bridge. Some even claimed that the creature appeared to be warning them of impending disaster. In the days immediately before the collapse, several witnesses reported seeing a large winged figure near the bridge, leading to speculation that the Mothman was somehow linked to the disaster. Journalist and author John Keel, who had been investigating the Mothman sightings, documented these connections in his book The Mothman Prophecies, published in 1975. Keel suggested that the Mothman sightings were a form of omen or warning of the impending catastrophe. He also explored other paranormal phenomena that occurred in the area around the same time, including reports of UFO sightings and strange phone calls, adding to the aura of mystery and fear surrounding the Mothman legend. While there is no concrete evidence to directly link the Mothman to the Silver Bridge collapse, the timing of the sightings and the tragedy has cemented the connection in the minds of many locals and researchers. The collapse, a devastating event for the community, has become intertwined with the Mothman legend, adding a layer of tragedy and foreboding to the creature's story. Theories and speculations, from supernatural entities to misidentified animals. Theories about the nature and origins of the Mothman are as varied and intriguing as the sightings themselves. One of the most popular theories is that the Mothman is a supernatural entity, possibly a harbinger of doom or a guardian spirit. This theory is supported by the creature's eerie appearance, its association with the Silver Bridge collapse, and the fear it instills in those who encounter it. Some researchers suggest that the Mothman could be an extraterrestrial being, possibly linked to the numerous UFO sightings reported in the area around the same time. This theory posits that the Mothman is either an alien creature or a product of alien technology, explaining its otherworldly characteristics and the strange phenomena associated with its sightings. Another theory is that the Mothman is a cryptid, an unknown species of animal that has yet to be documented by science. Proponents of this theory point to the creature's physical characteristics, such as its wings and glowing eyes, as evidence that it could be a previously undiscovered species. Some suggest that the Mothman could be a giant owl or a large bird, misidentified by frightened witnesses in the dark. Skeptics, on the other hand, argue that the Mothman sightings can be explained by misidentifications of known animals or psychological phenomena. They suggest that many of the sightings could be attributed to large birds, such as owls or cranes, which are known to inhabit the area and can appear quite large and intimidating in low-light conditions. Additionally, the power of suggestion and mass hysteria could have played a role in the proliferation of Mothman sightings, with people more likely to see the creature after hearing about it in the media. Despite these varied theories, no definitive explanation has been found for the Mothman phenomenon. The mystery of the creature's origins and nature continues to captivate researchers and enthusiasts, ensuring that the legend endures. Cultural legacy: the Mothman's influence on local traditions and media. The Mothman has left an indelible mark on the culture and identity of Point Pleasant and the surrounding region. The creature has become a symbol of the town, celebrated in festivals, museums, and popular media. One of the most prominent manifestations of the Mothman's cultural legacy is the annual Mothman Festival, held in Point Pleasant each September. The festival attracts thousands of visitors from around the world, offering a variety of activities, including guest speakers, vendor booths, live music, and guided tours of the TNT area. The festival celebrates the Mothman legend and its impact on the community, providing a boost to the local economy and fostering a sense of pride and tradition among residents. The Mothman Museum, located in downtown Point Pleasant, offers visitors a comprehensive look at the history and lore of the Mothman. The museum features exhibits on the sightings, the Silver Bridge collapse, and the various theories surrounding the creature. It also houses a collection of artifacts, photographs, and documents related to the Mothman legend, making it a popular destination for both locals and tourists. The Mothman has also made a significant impact on popular media. John Keel's book, The Mothman Prophecies, was adapted into a film of the same name in 2002, starring Richard Gere and Laura Linney. The film, while taking creative liberties with the story, brought the Mothman legend to a global audience and renewed interest in the phenomenon. The creature has also appeared in various television shows, documentaries, and comic books, further cementing its place in popular culture. In addition to its influence on media and tourism, the Mothman has become a subject of academic interest, with researchers studying the phenomenon from various angles, including folklore, psychology, and cryptozoology. The creature's enduring mystery and the wealth of eyewitness accounts make it a fascinating case study for those interested in the unexplained. Chapter 5: Skinwalkers. Skinwalkers, shape-shifting entities from Native American lore, are among the most terrifying and enigmatic figures in indigenous cultures. These beings, often depicted as malevolent witches capable of transforming into animals, invoke profound fear and fascination. This chapter delves into the origins of skinwalkers, explores first-hand encounters, examines their shape-shifting abilities, discusses protective measures taken by communities, and considers the cultural significance of these entities in Native American traditions and beliefs. Introduction to Skinwalkers: the cultural and historical context of these entities. The legend of skinwalkers is rooted deeply in the traditions of the Navajo, a Native American tribe primarily located in the southwestern United States. Known in the Navajo language as Yi Naldloshi, which translates to "with it, he goes on all fours," skinwalkers are believed to be witches who have acquired the supernatural ability to transform into animals at will. This transformation is often associated with the darkest forms of witchcraft, involving the breaking of tribal taboos and the perpetration of heinous acts. The concept of skinwalkers is not limited to the Navajo. Similar legends exist among other Native American tribes, each with their own variations and interpretations. However, the Navajo stories are the most well-documented and widely known. In Navajo culture, witchcraft is seen as a path to immense power, but one that comes with significant moral and spiritual costs. Those who become skinwalkers are said to have committed the most egregious acts, such as murdering a close relative, in order to gain their abilities. Skinwalkers are often depicted as evil, malevolent beings that bring misfortune and death to those who encounter them. They are considered the antithesis of traditional healers or medicine men, who use their knowledge and abilities for the benefit of the community. The fear of skinwalkers is pervasive, and discussions about them are often conducted in hushed tones or avoided altogether, especially among the Navajo people, to avoid attracting their attention. First-hand accounts: chilling stories from those who have encountered skinwalkers. First-hand accounts of encounters with skinwalkers are as chilling as they are compelling. These stories, passed down through generations or shared by contemporary witnesses, paint a picture of entities that defy explanation and instill deep-seated fear. One such account comes from a Navajo woman named Emma, who recounted an experience from her childhood. She described seeing a large wolf-like creature with glowing yellow eyes staring at her through the window of her family's home. The creature's gaze was unnerving, and she felt paralyzed with fear. Her grandmother, upon hearing her description, immediately performed a protective ritual and warned Emma to never speak of the encounter again. Another harrowing story involves a Navajo man named John, who was driving home late at night when he noticed a coyote running alongside his car at an impossible speed. As he accelerated, the coyote kept pace, and he could see that its eyes were unnaturally human-like. Suddenly, the coyote transformed into a man, who then ran off into the darkness. John was so shaken by the encounter that he drove straight to a medicine man's home for a cleansing ritual. These first-hand accounts, while varied in their specifics, consistently highlight the fear and supernatural nature of skinwalkers. Witnesses often describe the creatures with glowing eyes, inhuman speed, and an unsettling sense of malevolence. These experiences are typically followed by a deep sense of unease and the need for protective measures. Shape-shifting abilities: descriptions of the creature's transformations and abilities. The shape-shifting abilities of skinwalkers are central to their terrifying reputation. According to Navajo tradition, skinwalkers can transform into any animal they desire, though they often choose predatory creatures like wolves, coyotes, foxes, and owls. This ability allows them to move swiftly and stealthily, making them formidable foes. The transformation process is said to be accompanied by rituals and the use of animal pelts. Skinwalkers don the skins of the animals they wish to become, a practice that is taboo for other members of the tribe. These pelts are believed to give them the physical attributes of the animals, such as enhanced speed, strength, and senses. Witnesses of skinwalker transformations describe them as both awe-inspiring and horrifying. The creatures are often seen shifting seamlessly between human and animal forms, displaying agility and power beyond natural limits. In animal form, skinwalkers retain their intelligence and malevolent intent, using their abilities to stalk, terrorize, and harm those they target. In addition to physical transformations, Skinwalkers are believed to possess other supernatural abilities. These include the power to control the minds of animals, induce illness or misfortune, and even read thoughts. Some accounts suggest that skinwalkers can mimic voices and sounds, luring victims into traps or creating confusion and fear. Protective measures: how communities guard against skinwalkers. The fear of skinwalkers has led to the development of various protective measures within Native American communities. These practices are rooted in traditional beliefs and are often performed by medicine men or spiritual leaders. One common protective measure is the use of protective charms and amulets. These items, often made from specific herbs, stones, or animal parts, are believed to ward off skinwalkers and other malevolent entities. The Navajo also use a substance called ash medicine, which is sprinkled around homes and property to create a protective barrier. Rituals and ceremonies play a significant role in protection against skinwalkers. The Blessing Way and Enemy Way ceremonies are two traditional Navajo rituals designed to restore harmony and balance, providing spiritual protection against evil forces. These ceremonies involve chanting, singing, and the use of sacred objects, and are often conducted by experienced medicine men. Another important aspect of protection is community vigilance. In areas where skinwalker sightings are reported, communities often band together to watch for signs of the creatures. This collective effort helps to ensure the safety of individuals and deters potential attacks. Additionally, sharing knowledge about skinwalkers and their tactics helps to prepare and protect the community. Some stories also mention more extreme measures, such as identifying and confronting the skinwalker. According to legend, if a skinwalker's true identity is discovered and revealed publicly, they will lose their power and be forced to return to their human form. This, however, is considered highly dangerous, as skinwalkers are said to be capable of extreme retaliation. Cultural significance: the role of skinwalkers in Native American traditions and beliefs. Skinwalkers hold a significant place in Native American traditions and beliefs, particularly among the Navajo. They are seen as symbols of the ultimate corruption of power and the perversion of traditional spiritual practices. The fear and respect they command reflect the deep cultural values and taboos within these communities. In Navajo cosmology, the world is understood in terms of balance and harmony, with good and evil forces constantly interacting. Skinwalkers represent a profound imbalance, embodying the dangers of unchecked power and the violation of sacred laws. They are the antithesis of the medicine men and women who use their knowledge and abilities to heal and protect. The stories of skinwalkers also serve as cautionary tales, reinforcing the importance of ethical behavior and the consequences of straying from the community's moral code. They remind the Navajo of the dangers of envy, greed, and the misuse of spiritual knowledge. Skinwalkers also play a role in the social fabric of Navajo society. The fear of these entities can act as a unifying force, bringing communities together to protect themselves and each other. The rituals and ceremonies designed to guard against skinwalkers are communal events that reinforce cultural identity and shared values. The cultural significance of skinwalkers extends beyond the Navajo, influencing broader Native American folklore and even popular culture. Their depiction in movies, television shows, and literature often emphasizes their fearsome reputation and supernatural abilities, introducing wider audiences to this aspect of Native American lore. Chapter 6: Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil, a creature said to inhabit the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, is one of the most enduring and enigmatic legends in American folklore. This chapter examines the origins of the Jersey Devil legend, explores eyewitness testimonies, investigates efforts to track and understand the creature, considers skeptical views and alternative explanations, and looks at the cultural impact of the Jersey Devil on local lore and community. Historical background: the birth of the Jersey Devil legend. The legend of the Jersey Devil dates back to the early 18th century. According to the most popular version of the story, the creature was born in 1735 to Deborah Leeds, a resident of the Pine Barrens. Pregnant with her 13th child, Deborah reportedly cursed the unborn baby in frustration, exclaiming that it would be the devil. On the night of the birth, the child transformed into a horrific creature with hooves, a goat's head, bat-like wings, and a forked tail. It screeched and flew up the chimney, disappearing into the pine barrens. The legend quickly spread throughout the region, with subsequent generations embellishing the tale. The creature, now known as the Jersey Devil, was said to terrorize local residents, livestock, and travelers. Early accounts describe it as a harbinger of doom, appearing before disasters or significant events. Throughout the 18th and 19th centuries, reports of the Jersey Devil continued to surface, solidifying its place in New Jersey folklore. The Pine Barrens, a vast, dense forest covering over 1 million acres, provided the perfect backdrop for the legend. Its isolation, dark woods, and eerie atmosphere contributed to the mystique of the Jersey Devil, making it an integral part of the region's cultural identity. Eyewitness testimonies, harrowing encounters with the creature. Eyewitness testimonies of the Jersey Devil are numerous and varied, ranging from fleeting glimpses to terrifying close encounters. These accounts, while sometimes contradictory, often share common elements that paint a vivid picture of the creature. One of the earliest documented sightings occurred in 1820, when Joseph Bonaparte, the brother of Napoleon Bonaparte and former King of Spain, claimed to have encountered the Jersey Devil while hunting in the Pine Barrens. According to Bonaparte, he saw a large winged creature with a horse-like head and bat-like wings. The creature reportedly screeched and flew away, leaving Bonaparte both terrified and intrigued. In 1909, a series of sightings and attacks attributed to the Jersey Devil created a media frenzy. Known as the Phenomenal Week, this period saw numerous reports of encounters with the creature across New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Witnesses described the Jersey Devil as having a kangaroo-like body, a horse's head, bat wings, and clawed hands. It was said to leave strange tracks, attack animals, and even attempt to enter homes. One of the most famous sightings from this period came from a police officer named James Sackville, who reported shooting at the creature only to see it fly away unscathed. Sackville's account was corroborated by other officers and townspeople, further fueling the hysteria. In more recent times, sightings of the Jersey Devil have continued, with witnesses often describing similar features. In 1993, a forest ranger named John Irwin encountered a large, dark figure on a deserted road in the Pine Barrens. The creature reportedly had glowing red eyes and emitted a blood-curdling scream before disappearing into the woods. These harrowing encounters, whether historical or contemporary, contribute to the enduring fear and fascination surrounding the Jersey Devil. The consistency of descriptions and the credibility of some witnesses lend weight to the legend, keeping it alive in the public imagination. Investigations, efforts to track and understand the Jersey Devil. Efforts to track and understand the Jersey Devil have spanned centuries, involving both amateur investigators and serious researchers. These investigations aim to uncover the truth behind the legend and determine whether the creature is a real, undiscovered species, a misidentified animal, or a purely mythical figure. In the early 20th century, several organized hunts were conducted in the Pine Barrens to capture or kill the Jersey Devil. These hunts, often led by local residents and fueled by media attention, involved searching the dense woods, setting traps, and even offering rewards for the creature's capture. Despite the enthusiasm and effort, no conclusive evidence was ever found. In the 1970s, a group of researchers known as the Devil Hunters formed to systematically investigate sightings and gather evidence. Led by Ivan T. Sanderson, a noted cryptozoologist, the group conducted field expeditions, collected eyewitness testimonies, and analyzed physical evidence such as tracks and droppings. Although the Devil Hunters did not capture the Jersey Devil, their work brought a more scientific approach to the investigation. Modern technology has also been employed in the search for the Jersey Devil. Trail cameras, drone surveillance, and audio recording devices have been used to monitor the Pine Barrens for signs of the creature. While these efforts have yielded some intriguing results, such as unexplained animal calls and strange tracks, definitive proof remains elusive. Some researchers have turned to historical records and folklore studies to understand the origins and evolution of the Jersey Devil legend. By analyzing old newspaper articles, family histories, and oral traditions, they aim to trace how the story has changed over time and what cultural factors may have influenced its development. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the investigations into the Jersey Devil continue to captivate both researchers and the public. The creature's elusiveness and the enigmatic nature of the Pine Barrens make it an enduring subject of fascination and speculation. Skeptical views, alternative explanations for the sightings. Skeptics offer various alternative explanations for the sightings and reports of the Jersey Devil, often attributing them to misidentifications, hoaxes, and psychological phenomena. One common skeptical explanation is that many sightings of the Jersey Devil are actually misidentified animals. The Pine Barrens are home to a variety of wildlife, including deer, foxes, and large birds like the great horned owl. In low-light conditions or under stressful circumstances, witnesses might mistake these animals for something more monstrous. The physical descriptions of the Jersey Devil, with its wings and hooved feet, could easily match those of a large bird or a deformed animal. Hoaxes and pranks have also played a significant role in the perpetuation of the Jersey Devil legend. During the Phenomenal Week of 1909, for example, it was revealed that some of the tracks attributed to the creature had been fabricated by locals using a mechanical device. Similarly, exaggerated or false reports often gain traction in the media, further blurring the line between fact and fiction. Psychological factors, such as mass hysteria and the power of suggestion, can also explain the proliferation of Jersey Devil sightings. When a community is primed with tales of a terrifying creature, individuals may interpret ordinary events or ambiguous stimuli in ways that fit the legend. This phenomenon, known as priming, can lead to collective delusions and reinforce belief in the creature. Skeptics also point to the lack of physical evidence as a major argument against the existence of the Jersey Devil. Despite numerous reports and extensive investigations, no body, bones, or definitive biological samples have ever been found. For many skeptics, this absence of concrete evidence strongly suggests that the Jersey Devil is a myth rather than a real, living creature. Cultural impact: the Jersey Devil's place in local lore and its influence on the community. The legend of the Jersey Devil has had a profound impact on the culture and identity of the Pine Barrens region. It is a central figure in local folklore, a symbol of the area's wild and mysterious nature, and a significant aspect of community heritage. The Pine Barrens, with its dense forests and remote swamps, has always been a place of mystery and intrigue. The Jersey Devil embodies these qualities, serving as a symbol of the unknown and the untamed. This connection to the land and its natural environment has helped shape the cultural identity of the region, making the Jersey Devil a point of pride and fascination for local residents. The legend has also influenced local traditions and celebrations. Each year, the town of Leeds Point, considered by many to be the birthplace of the Jersey Devil, hosts festivals and events celebrating the creature. These festivities include storytelling sessions, tours of purported sighting locations, and contests for the best Jersey Devil costume. These events not only preserve the legend, but also foster a sense of community and shared heritage. In addition to its cultural significance, the Jersey Devil has had a considerable economic impact on the region. The legend draws tourists from around the world, eager to explore the Pine Barrens and possibly catch a glimpse of the creature. Local businesses, including tour operators, gift shops, and restaurants, capitalize on this interest by offering Jersey Devil-themed merchandise and experiences. The Jersey Devil has also made its mark on popular culture. It has been featured in numerous books, movies, television shows, and even video games. The creature's distinctive appearance and chilling backstory make it a compelling subject for storytellers and creators, ensuring that the legend reaches audiences far beyond New Jersey. Chapter 7: International Cryptids. The world is full of mysterious creatures that haunt the night and capture the imagination. Known as cryptids, these elusive beings are reported in various cultures, each with its unique legends and lore. This chapter takes a global tour of cryptid encounters, exploring lesser-known creatures from around the world, including the Yeti, Bunyip, Mongolian deathworm, and El Chulashaki. It also examines the future of cryptozoology and how the study of these creatures continues to evolve. Yeti, the abominable snowman of the Himalayas. The Yeti, often referred to as the abominable snowman, is one of the most famous cryptids in the world. Said to inhabit the remote snow-covered mountains of the Himalayas, the Yeti is depicted as a large, ape-like creature covered in shaggy white or brown hair. Its legend has been part of Himalayan folklore for centuries, with stories of the Yeti being passed down through generations of Sherpas and other mountain-dwelling people. The first recorded sighting by a Westerner dates back to the 19th century, when British explorers reported seeing large footprints in the snow. The legend gained international attention in the early 20th century, with the accounts of mountaineers like Eric Shipton, who photographed giant footprints while on an expedition in 1951. These photographs fueled global fascination and sparked numerous expeditions aimed at uncovering the truth behind the Yeti. Eyewitness accounts of the Yeti describe it as a bipedal creature, standing between 6 to 10 feet tall, with a muscular build and long, powerful arms. It is said to be elusive and shy, avoiding human contact and dwelling in the highest and most inaccessible regions of the Himalayas. Despite extensive searches and various expeditions, conclusive evidence of the Yeti's existence remains elusive. Skeptics suggest that sightings of the Yeti can be attributed to misidentified wildlife, such as bears or large monkeys, combined with the psychological effects of isolation and the harsh environment of the Himalayas. Nevertheless, the legend of the Yeti endures, inspiring both scientific inquiry and popular imagination. Bunyip, the mysterious water creature of Australian Aboriginal mythology. The Bunyip is a cryptid from Australian Aboriginal mythology, described as a fearsome water-dwelling creature that inhabits swamps, billabongs, and rivers. The name Bunyip comes from the Wemba Wemba language of the Aboriginal people of southeastern Australia and translates to devil or evil spirit. Descriptions of the Bunyip vary widely, reflecting the diverse cultural traditions and stories of different Aboriginal tribes. Common features include a dog-like face, dark fur, a horse-like tail, flippers, and walrus-like tusks. Some accounts describe the Bunyip as a massive creature capable of swallowing humans whole, while others depict it as a smaller, more elusive being. The first recorded mentions of the Bunyip in European accounts date back to the early 19th century, when settlers reported hearing terrifying roars and encountering strange creatures near water sources. These reports, combined with Aboriginal legends, created a rich tapestry of stories that continue to intrigue and terrify. In 1845, a newspaper in Geelong, Victoria, published an article about the discovery of a strange set of bones near a local creek. The bones were thought to belong to a Bunyip, and the story captured public interest. Subsequent reports and supposed sightings continued to fuel the legend, though scientific examination often revealed that the bones belonged to known animals, such as seals or large birds. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the Bunyip remains a powerful figure in Australian folklore. It embodies the mystery and danger of the Australian wilderness, serving as both a cautionary tale and a symbol of the unknown. Mongolian deathworm, the deadly cryptid of the Gobi Desert. The Mongolian deathworm, known locally as the Olgoi Korkoi, large intestine worm, is a cryptid said to inhabit the sands of the Gobi Desert. Descriptions of the creature depict it as a bright red, sausage-like worm, measuring between 2 to 5 feet in length. It is reputed to be extremely dangerous, capable of killing its victims with a lethal poison or an electric shock. The legend of the Mongolian deathworm gained prominence in Western literature through the works of Roy Chapman Andrews, an American explorer and paleontologist who mentioned the creature in his writings in the early 20th century. According to local folklore, the deathworm emerges from the sand during the hottest months of the year, seeking out prey and killing with its deadly abilities. Eyewitness accounts from Mongolian nomads and herders describe the worm as a creature to be feared and avoided. Stories tell of the worm spitting corrosive venom that can kill on contact and generating electric discharges that can incapacitate or kill from a distance. These accounts have been passed down through generations, reinforcing the fear and mystery surrounding the deathworm. Efforts to find the Mongolian deathworm have included several expeditions by both Western and Mongolian researchers. These expeditions have often involved local guides and the use of technology, such as ground-penetrating radar and remote cameras. Despite these efforts, no definitive evidence of the deathworm's existence has been found. Skeptics suggest that the legend of the deathworm may be a combination of misidentified animals, such as snakes or lizards, and the fear of the harsh desert environment. Nonetheless, the stories persist, and the Mongolian deathworm continues to captivate the imaginations of cryptozoologists and adventure seekers. El Chulashaki, the shape-shifting forest spirit of the Amazon. El Chulashaki, also known as Chulahaki or Sakuruna, is a mythical creature from the Amazon rainforest, particularly in the lore of the indigenous peoples of Peru and Brazil. Described as a shapeshifter, El Chulashaki is believed to lure unsuspecting travelers into the depths of the jungle, never to be seen again. According to legend, El Chulashaki often takes the form of a loved one or a familiar figure to deceive its victims. It is said to have one human foot and one foot resembling that of an animal, such as a jaguar or a tapir, which leaves distinctive tracks that betray its true identity. This physical anomaly is one of the few consistent details in the various descriptions of the creature. Encounters with El Chulashaki are usually described as terrifying experiences. Victims report being led deep into the forest by a familiar figure, only to realize too late that they have been deceived. The creature then reveals its true form, instilling fear and disorientation in its prey, who often find themselves lost and unable to find their way back. The origins of the El Chulashaki legend are deeply rooted in the spiritual beliefs and environmental context of the Amazonian tribes. The creature is often seen as a guardian of the forest, punishing those who disrespect nature or stray too far from their communities. It serves as a cautionary tale, reminding people of the dangers of the jungle and the importance of respecting the natural world. While some researchers suggest that El Chulashaki might be a cultural interpretation of natural dangers, such as getting lost or encountering wild animals, the legend remains a powerful part of Amazonian folklore. It reflects the deep connection between the indigenous people and their environment, as well as the mysteries that lie within the vast, uncharted rainforest. Future of cryptozoology: how the study of cryptids continues to evolve. The field of cryptozoology, dedicated to the study of hidden or unknown animals, continues to evolve as technology advances and our understanding of the natural world grows. While often considered a fringe science, cryptozoology plays a unique role in exploring the boundaries of human knowledge and the mysteries that still exist in our world. Modern cryptozoologists employ a variety of tools and techniques to investigate reports of cryptids. These include trail cameras, drones, environmental DNA, EDNA sampling, and advanced imaging technologies. These tools allow researchers to monitor remote areas, collect biological samples, and analyze data in ways that were not possible in the past. Environmental DNA sampling, in particular, has opened new possibilities for cryptozoology. By analyzing genetic material found in water, soil, or air samples, scientists can identify the presence of species without needing to capture or directly observe them. This method has been used successfully to document rare and elusive species and holds promise for cryptid research. Cryptozoology also benefits from increased collaboration with other scientific disciplines. Biologists, ecologists, and anthropologists often work together to investigate cryptid reports, bringing a multidisciplinary approach to the field. This collaboration helps to contextualize cryptid legends within the broader framework of cultural and environmental studies. Public interest in cryptids remains high, driven by media coverage, documentaries, and literature. This interest provides both opportunities and challenges for cryptozoologists. On one hand, it can lead to increased funding and support for research. On the other hand, it can also perpetuate hoaxes and misinformation, complicating the efforts to separate fact from fiction. Despite these challenges, the study of cryptids continues to captivate the imagination and inspire scientific inquiry. Cryptozoology reminds us that there are still mysteries to be explored, and that the world holds many secrets yet to be uncovered. Whether driven by the hope of discovering new species or understanding the cultural significance of cryptid legends, the future of cryptozoology is bright and full of potential.